I'll tell you, just as an allegory. Do you know who Mick Goodrick is? Very famous professor from Berkeley. No, Mick Goodrick. He taught nearby at Fengle, Scoffle, Box 10 Cent.
In your time too, when you were there? Yeah, he was my teacher.
But he told me a story that at Berkeley in the early 60s, Quincy Jones and all those guys were there. There was a basement there, and to get on stage, there was a list of themes you had to play. And like everyone was like, man, how can I get there? When people got there, they would try to repel others so no one else could get there. Did you reach the power? But I was just my brother. Power is only mine. I don't want you to do, because it's not about respect from Greeks, it's respect from outsiders.
From those who don't enter, from those who are outside. That's insecurity, isn't it? I think so. It's even funny, I understand that the so-called real book, songbook is something that was built and it became a pantheon, right? It became a pantheon that qualifies you. So if you know Autumn Leaves, if you know Blue Bossa, Stella by Starlight, right? You graduated. Now, what these people don't know is that these songs became standards because they were the pop music of the time. They became, so it was the music of the, were there TV shows at that time? No, TV was just being born. It was the music of Broadway musicals, wasn't it? Yes, there are many Broadway musicals. Porgy and Bess, Summertime, It Ain't Necessarily So, and so on. These were songs that played on American radio, right? All of Me. It would be equivalent to today. If you took, man, I'm going to harmonize a song by Paulinho Mosca for jazz, another by Zeca Balero, another by Bruno Mars, song and play it, instrumentally, present the theme, and improvise over it, harmonize it in a complex way. You can do this with any song. So, what is it that determines what is a standard or what isn't? It's history. So there's a bit of a hangover, right? To be here with us, you have to know all these songs. Do I want to tell all these stories? Can I handle this? Isn't there a story about a saxophonist? I don't know if it's Lester Young or Dexter Gordon. This is tough, huh? That at the end of his life, when he's already old, someone asks him, I don't have a reference. I think this line is in that movie Round Midnight, but it's a true line from some saxophonist from Count Basie's band or Duke Ellington's. I don't know if it's Lester Young, one of them. He was very old, and a younger guy said, hey, so-and-so, I see you're just playing. You don't improvise anymore, right, at night. He said, it's because I don't remember the lyrics. Look at that responsibility, how beautiful. When you improvise, you have to remember the subject. Autumn leaves falling. All of me. You took everything from me. You took the part that once was my heart. You took the part that for a while was a piece of my heart. You took everything from me. Is it serious to improvise this? It's no use just, now am I going to improvise? Wow, cool. There's a 2-5-1 there, so I'm going to throw in everything from the last week that I learned here and go all out. Did you forget that the lyrics say, the person took everything from me? Look at the seriousness of improvising on a theme. I'm saying this to myself, and I wonder, am I capable of arguing about all these themes, about all these stories? Or am I just showing off my knowledge? It's tough, isn't it?
Because jazz, when improvisation started in the 1940s, was very much about an extension of the theme.
Flowers of the theme, right?
People. And you recognize the theme there, right? The whole time, though, the person is perceiving the theme in the background, right? But I think jazz also, at some point in the 1970s, especially after bebop in the 60s, really became something else.
A performance challenge, right? Yes, understandable. It's part of the game. But it's deeper than that, isn't it? They say that everything you want to embrace in life, it's important to know where it came from, right? So it's important for us to remember, to fulfill this role of remembering that, where did this story of, man, improvising on a core theme? We've been here for a few minutes. We've already improvised on about 3 themes, right? Shall we try to remember a song here, which is first Jabba, right? How was it? Because I went to Sao Paulo, now we're talking about the grudge of the guys who call others Bico. We're improvising on these themes within our knowledge. That's what jazz is, right? But there's this legitimacy of not forgetting what you're talking about, right?
But when jazz also split, there was the bebop era, and then came cool jazz. All those people who were very technical. You notice that jazz also took a different path. It stopped being popular. It's part of American culture, but what remains in American culture is much more this songbook jazz, right, man? With the beautiful lyrics.
Yeah, and that power, right? Because it has...
Our bossa music, right? Tom Jobim.
Exactly, Jim. Joan Nogueira singing a theme, then a trumpet comes in the middle commenting on the pain he's singing about. It's the language, right? It's beautiful.
Here sat a guy named Mauricio Horn, whom I talk about.
Yes, a harmonica player. Man, how old is he now? Yeah. He went to a groove performance once at the school where I studied, and we were playing Estamos Ahí, which I think is his, right?
It's his.
And then Levon said, but is Mauricio here? I said, wow, the composer of the song.
He sat here with such clarity. But the question I was most curious about was this. Man, what did you listen to when you were 18? Because we listened to rock and roll, right? And what did those guys listen to since they are before bossa nova?
For example, he's just older than Cesar Camargo.
Is he older than the one who came here too? Menescal came here. He's older, yeah. And what did he listen to? Man, they listened to a lot of samba canção, and they started to hear, here's the thing, jazz arriving. And when the guys heard the first jazz albums, they said, do you know that Julie London?
Yes, yes.
Do you know the importance of that album? That album with Barney Kessel?
Yes, yes. I heard it the other day. A guy was playing it and it came up.
But Menescal said it was the most important album for bossa nova. That they started trying to figure out the chords, he, Juan Gilberto, the guys, and they thought, we have to apply this to bossa nova. Oh man, it's amazing. It's really nice to hear that, right? To say, oh, so nowadays they say this without wanting to hide it, but it was hidden for a long time, you know? We can't reveal the sources, right?
Market protection.
Yeah, market protection.
But listen, twice I interviewed Lenny Andrade, and she was an amazing vocal improviser.
Nice, that's awesome, man.
And she talks about how she was young and started singing at Beco das Garrafas, and it's recorded. I'm going to release it. You don't have an audio of it anywhere, right? She says that Sergio Mendes was nearby and said, wow, what you do is bebop. It's just like her, just like Sarah. She said, like who? To me, she is a pronoun, right? She didn't know. Then she tells in this speech, of course, she made up a story which she probably had somewhat scripted to tell in shows, that actually she learned to improvise because of a woman named Dolores Duran. Then she sings a song by Dolores. Then she goes, and I don't know the whole melody. Man, she starts to improvise vocally there. And in the middle, she adds the 4, right?
Is that from Miles?
Man, that's it, man. Listen, imitate, right, man?
Lenina Andrade was on an absurd level. Abroad, people went crazy for her.
Well, the first time I saw her was at Ron Carter's show in Sao Paulo. She went up to sing Corcovado. And then she boasted about saying, because it was true, she said, when I sing at Dizzy's Club, who sits to watch me is Tony Bennett, who was a neighbor there, Mark Murphy, who is a singer that passed away, and Ron Carter. The guys would sit to applaud her, and she was proud, because she traveled the whole world singing in Portuguese, in the language of jazz, that is singing and improvising.
She was really very good. She had an image. She has been missed.